Welcome to the Needy and Normal podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Levering, mom, wife, and life coach. After hours of coaching and learning from my own life, one thing is clear: meeting your needs is essential for a better life. Here, we'll talk about your needs and not only learn to accept them, but also tend to them without guilt. Let's get needy. Gratitude. Have you really given it thought as to how gratitude is used in your life as a tool? Is actually helpful when you're having a moment, whether it be sad or dark or angry. Have you thought about gratitude as an overall reflection of your life? Let's give gratitude a little more thought today. Hi, welcome back to Needy and Normal. If this is your first time here, welcome in, get cozy. We're going to get needy because it's normal. Now, this may be my opinion, but I truly believe that we need gratitude. Number one reason is that it's an absolute reset. Whenever you're having some disbelieving thoughts in something going well or something's just hard in the moment, gratitude is one of the best resets. And it gives you a chance to pause also and just truly think about what in your life are you grateful for? What is happening in your life that you get to be thankful for that maybe you've forgotten to be thankful for? So it's a reset, it's a reminder, it's a tool, and it's necessary. Because if we're not grateful, what are we going for? If we're not grateful, how are we finding peace? If we're not grateful, how are we connecting? Think about the people you connect to and can connect to by finding gratitude for them being in your life, for something they've done for you. Gratitude is super key in so many relationships, not just friendship and family, but also in obviously romantic relationships and work relationships. Gratitude. And it's not just the moment where you say, hey, thanks. It's meaning that, right? Of course, we don't want to say empty thank yous. Receiving a thank you feels really wonderful. And then being grateful for something as simple as air in your lungs, or that promotion you got, or that trip you got to take. And when you're having a moment where things aren't going well, or something feels down or sad, or just, so frustrating, that is a perfect moment to think, okay, what is something I'm grateful for right now that can help bring me out of this moment and remind me that life is not so bad? This is something that can bring us out of some of our darkest moments. Gratitude is so important. How do you use gratitude in your life right now? Where does it show up? Something I recommend to my clients is to wake up thankful, go to bed winning. So this is a little tool I'll give you. Take this with you today. So when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is take 3 deep breaths, right? I'm grateful for the air in my lungs is kind of the idea that we're going to feel when we do that. And that's before we say in our minds or out loud 1 to 3 things we are grateful for. Something I do when I'm having my morning gratitude practice, which is not all the time. It's not perfect. We just do our best, especially when we need it. Do it anytime. But I try and say things like, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for the cup of coffee I'm about to have. I'm thankful for the vacation I get to look forward to. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's big. In the moments where something is really good, even if it's small, like sipping that first sip of your hot, beautiful, amazing cup of coffee. Can you tell I like coffee? There's a great moment right there to think, oh, I'm so grateful for this moment. I'm so grateful for this sip of coffee. So it doesn't have to be big and grand, but it can be something small. Like, I'm so glad I caught that green light so I wasn't late to that meeting. I'm grateful that that timing worked out for me. I'm grateful that I had 1 more piece of gum left when I was taking off in the airplane. Whatever it may be, it doesn't have to be huge, but it can help. So in the morning, you take your 3 deep breaths. You say 1 to 3 things you're grateful for. It really sets the tone for your day. It just does. Try it. Just try it. And if you're having another moment throughout the day when you've had that practice in the morning, do it again. Remind yourself, okay, let's think again what I'm grateful for. So then at the end of the day, whatever your bedtime routine looks like, try entering in one to three, but I love three things that you won in the day. Three things that went well. So it can be I got to class on time. It can be my kids and I got to play a game. It can be I actually cooked a meal. That's something I'm thankful for sometimes because I'm a very simple, easy mom sometimes when it comes to food. But if I cook a real meal, I'm going to be real thankful for that win. And I'm going to say, ooh, I won at dinner tonight. You get my point. So if you wake up thankful and go to bed winning, it's a really great bookend for your day. You start your day feeling really positive about at least one thing, and you go to bed feeling really positive about at least one thing you did. On a grander scale, I will share with you a story. When I was really struggling with life, being a mom and being a solo mom, and believe me, I'm still working through it, but when it was especially hard, something I kept forgetting to do was finding a moment to be grateful. And I kept seeing the negative, I kept seeing the hard, I kept seeing the frustrating and the challenging and logistics not being easy to manage and just feeling alone. And granted, those things still come up because I'm a human being and I do parent by myself a lot. But I kept forgetting to have a moment of what does my life look like? If I zoom out, what am I grateful for? And it now I practice it as much as possible because it is so key for me to basically come back to myself, come back to my feet, come back to my heart, and to be just aware that even when things are hard, I can still be grateful. It is a wonderful both and. I'll take it even farther. So when I grew up in Texas. I lived in California before that, grew up in Texas, moved back to California, Southern California. I've moved a lot. Texas was where I went to high school. And recently I went back to my high school reunion. You can guess what year it was, but it was not 15 and it was not 30. Okay, whatever. It's my 20th high school reunion. So it has been 20 years as I'm recording this since I've been back to that mental space of high school, because I've gone back, I've seen friends, you know how this is, but when you see people that you've literally not seen for 20 years, it was so bizarre. I felt like it was in another dimension. I also felt like I was 16 again. I also felt old all at the same time. I got to have a glimpse back into a life that truly I've outgrown. I read this quote by Young Pueblo, no joke, the morning after the big party when I was hungover. It said something along the lines of you have to, go back to your old life to remember that you've outgrown it and that it's not for you anymore. And I really did that. So not only did I think to myself, okay, by the way, I had an absolute blast. Two of my friends from high school I'm still kind of close with, so it was really fun to just reconnect and hang out and have espresso martinis and be grown-ups together. And we're all moms and it was really fun. But I also remembered that leaving Texas and meeting my husband pretty much immediately when I went off to college and turning that page and was such a forward move for me in such a healthy, wonderful way. There was a lot of toxic and traumatic things, back from childhood all the way through high school. And not any one person's fault, but things happen and things are not always great. I made bad decisions. I made a lot of good decisions, but I was reminded of some of those bad decisions. I'm not going to lie. I was reminded of some of the people that I remember why I wasn't friends with them anymore. It was just really, really eye-opening. Coming back to my life now, I was so proud. I felt really proud, not just of the house, the husband, the kids, the dog, and the college education. And I'm very proud of the boxes that I've checked. But more than that, I was really proud of my growth. I'm even more proud of who I am today and how hard I've worked to become this person and how aware I am and how in touch I am with the peaceful side of me and how much I've accepted, how much I've forgiven, how much I've literally just moved on. I was so so proud. I am so proud of that. Going back in time is what it felt like, reminded me, whoa, like, let's be so grateful for what I've built for myself, what I've done for myself, what I've done with my husband, this life we've built together. And I was parked, ready to go into my eyebrow wax appointment, and Jeff was on the road, and I called him, and this is pretty fresh after coming back from Texas, and I called him and I just said, I just want you to know that I'm so grateful to you for I got emotional telling him this, and I'm going to do it again. I said, I'm so grateful for the life we've built. I felt like he saved me almost, that he helped me have this life. He's given me this life that I have now. So I'm grateful for my growth, but I had to tell him too, like, I'm so grateful to you. I'm so grateful to you for falling in love with me and being my person. And sorry. Get it together. Okay, but this is real stuff, you know? I'm so truly grateful to him for busting his ass and working so hard to not only make his dreams come true as a sports broadcaster. He's such a pro, and I'm so proud of him, and he's worked so hard. But not only do I get to watch him chase his dreams, and he gets to influence our kids in such a wonderful way, he's worked so hard to provide for us. He's worked so hard. And I felt like it was appropriate to bring this up because this is a really current moment. Obviously, you can hear it in my voice and the emotions, but this is not something I will stop being grateful for. I will always be so proud of the life we've built. I'm always proud of how hard we work for it still, all the time. And I'm grateful for who I am today. I hope you can feel an ounce of that. And granted, I'm still growing and I'm still working on things. But if you have an opportunity to go back in your mind's eye, or actually literally go back to where you once were in life, and then bring yourself present, be so proud of yourself and be grateful to yourself for all the things you've overcome, for all the things you've managed to do and build for yourself, and all the ways that you've grown. Oh my goodness. If you just give yourself a moment to really think about the big scale, right? Reflect on where you've been and where you are now. I mean, this is one of the reasons why in my interviews, I always ask someone, like, if you could go back to your younger self and give them some advice, what would it be, right? It's having that moment with your younger self is something I did with my therapist. It's like, go back to that younger self and tell her or him, thank you. Thank you for what? You know, you decide. For me, it was thanks for, being tough. And now it's I'm grateful for how hard I've worked, and look at me now, right? So some things will never change because in so many ways, down to our core, we are who we are, which there's so much beauty to that. But in the ways that we need to grow, sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it. You are in motion. You are growing. You are moving forward. You are taking your old self into the future and creating this new, better, wonderful self. And you're trying so hard. And you can be grateful to that person. You can thank yourself. You can absolutely have gratitude for yourself. And I think that's essential too. It's not just thank you for doing me that favor to whoever the person is, right? It's not just thank you for hosting dinner. Thank you for taking my kids to their practice. It's thank you to yourself. Thank you, me, for looking out for me. Thank you for grabbing onto those opportunities that you did, saying yes to that one thing, saying no to that thing that you knew wasn't going to be right for you. You get to be thankful for all kinds of things, but you especially get to be thankful to yourself. So if you haven't had a chance to just sit down and have a little session with yourself and say, let's think about the things we're thankful for that we've done, that we've overcome, whether it's currently or from the past, whatever it may be, give yourself that opportunity, because I truly believe we need that. We need to give ourselves a heart hug and say, you're doing a good job. Be proud of yourself and be grateful to yourself. Take with you today permission to say thank you to yourself for anything, everything. And also, you have this tool of wake up thankful, go to bed winning. And I would love to hear from you if that is something you put into action. Tell me how it feels. Tell me what it does. I would absolutely love to hear from you. You can leave me a rating and review and messages here on the podcast. You can also find me on Instagram at ABL Life Coaching. If you're interested in coaching, this is a theme in my practice as a coach, is let's talk about what you're grateful for. Let's ride that wave a little bit. If you're curious, let me know. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, your needs matter because you matter. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Needy and Normal podcast. If you liked this episode, share it generously. I would so appreciate it if you would take a quick moment to leave me a review and click that subscribe button so you won't miss an episode. For information about coaching together, visit ablifecoaching.com.